Right, we will get started here this morning. Good morning and welcome back to the Grande Prairie District Chamber of Commerce Community Pulse Series. My name is Tom Poor and I look after communications and public relations for our chamber. We are meeting on Treaty 8 territory and we honor and acknowledge all of the First Nations, Métis and Inuit peoples who have lived, traveled and gathered on these lands for thousands of years. As you have seen, this session is being recorded. You will be able to ask questions in the chat box or just by grabbing our attention. The Grande Prairie area has a robust and diverse economy. The Community Pulse series is designed to provide updates and insights from a variety of industries, sectors, and organizations that make up the fabric of our unique and incredible community. We love doing roundtables at the chamber, and it brings us up to date with all the different partners in the community. And we want to share some of that information with the rest of the community and give them an idea of the economic impact that all these organizations and groups are having. So we thank you to our presenting partners, Grande Prairie Regional Innovation Network, Aquatera Utilities, Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers, City of Grande Prairie, and our supporting partners, Municipal District of Greenview, Community Futures, Grande Prairie, and Regent. Today, we are highlighting our presenting partner, Grande Prairie Regional Innovation Network. GPRIN is the innovation network serving Northwestern Alberta innovators and entrepreneurs with the resources, knowledge, and connections to develop, validate, manufacture, market, and launch innovations into the marketplace. The innovation ecosystem in Alberta is expansive, and GPRIN has access to resources and expertise in a wide variety of areas in Alberta and across Canada. Please welcome Jane Hunter-Urin.
Thanks, Tom. I'm going to share my video first off, if I can find it. Where'd it go? Here we are.
Are you an innovator, entrepreneur, or even just somebody with an idea, but you don't know what the next step is? Do you live in Northwestern Alberta? If you do, did you know that there's an organization that can help you bring your idea into reality? That organization is the Grande Prairie Regional Innovation Network, or the GPRIN for short. We can help you navigate the complex world of bringing an innovation to life. We can help you through whatever your next steps are, or even teach you what the next steps are. If we don't know, someone in our extensive network does. Maybe you have an idea for an innovative technology, or you already have a prototype. Perhaps you have an idea for an app, a program, or a groundbreaking shift in process or workflow. Or it could be a tool or technology that you commercialize or scale up. Is your idea new, or is it out there in a different form? We can help you find out. We can help you do the market research. It could be you need help with engineering or working through the design process. You may need help with grant applications or find out about financial support that is available for your idea. Do you need legal support to secure intellectual property rights or to check that you aren't infringing on someone else's? You might need help with the patent process. Maybe you're looking for training, seminars, or connections to network with other innovators. If you answered yes to any of these questions, the GPRIN can help. Here are some innovators that we have recently helped. This is Mark King. He's a local entrepreneur. His innovation involves a new technology and method for cleaning filters of various types. He came up with an idea to clean and be able to reuse those filters, but needed help with funding and to build a prototype to test his idea.
My name's Mark King. I own Ultra Filter Clean. We clean almost any filter. The filter cleaning business is a young industry, so there's not a lot of machines to help in the aid of cleaning filters. So we had to get busy and design something. Through a local networking event, we were introduced to GPRIN. At that point, they helped us research, fund, and build the actual prototype. And here we have it today. In the future, GPRIN is going to help us scale our business, commercialize, and bring this product to the global marketplace.
Another recent GPRIN client is Rhonda Huco. She's a chemical engineer who is working with a patent held by the National Research Council of Canada on a new technology for wastewater treatment. With funding and networking help that GPRIN provided, she's been working toward developing and scaling the design for commercialization. Rhonda has been working with the County of Grande Prairie to install these treatment facilities in our region, where they will then be reviewed by Alberta Environment and Parks as an innovative technology.
I was connected to GPRIN through Bob Hall of Alberta Innovates. Some of the business coaching that was provided by GP RIN were things like supporting me in a business plan, in a marketing plan, in summaries for National Research Council, IRAP funding. GP RIN not only provided some funding, but for me, more importantly, was all the business coaching that I obtained through people like Bob Hall and Holly Sorgan. And it was fantastic. I so appreciate all their support they provided.
And here is Dusty LaValle. He was born and raised farming in the Grande Prairie area. He had a successful career as a cowboy and bareback rider, but he saw the need for innovation in how the trucking industry managed their return trips. With the help of GP RIN and some of their partners, he is now the CEO of an international tech startup that is changing the trucking industry worldwide. His innovation was in creating an app to help people that need to ship heavy equipment to swiftly connect, organize, and quote out loads that need to be moved, like Uber, but for trucking.
My name is Dusty LaValle. Trusted Dispatch is an online automated system for shipping heavy equipment anywhere in North America, and it has intelligent algorithms that instantly compute the shipping costs and connects loads with trucks that are going in a certain direction empty. I just can't stress how important it is to have resources available like GP RIN and Community Futures. Myself, I was a tech company, so all the major lending institutes wouldn't even look at us. So having GP RIN and Community Futures able to kind of see the bigger picture, believe in us, and step up to the plate, it really got us going. Without their support, I don't know where we would be. I don't know if we would have even began.
These are just a few examples of people with varying needs that GP RIN was able to help. So, who is GP RIN? The Grande Prairie Regional Innovation Network is a network of municipalities, not-for-profit organizations, and experts in many fields. Here is Holly Sorgan. She is the Executive Director for Community Futures Grande Prairie and Region, the Administrator of the GP RIN, and is a longtime economic developer in the region.
Community Futures has been part of entrepreneurship services and innovation in the region for 30+ years. Most recently, we joined the Grande Prairie Regional Innovation Network and became the administrator in April 2019, providing as much service as we can to support innovators in this region to learn more, to access things like intellectual property support. Maybe it's to do some business coaching or work on their business plan. Accessing new markets, commercialization, doing some marketing, actually doing all the research to validate the market to ensure that the money that they're actually spending and all the time and energy they're putting in will actually be a product or service that's going to sell.
If you have an innovative idea and need help to get going, contact us. Please contact us by visiting our website at www.gprin.ca.
Yay. I still love that video. Sorry, guys. We did get that completed in the heart of the pandemic, so we're really proud of it. I think it really explains who we are and what we do and what our role is in the region as far as innovation and entrepreneurship. What I will tell you about is this week is the last week to get tickets at early registration prices for InVentures, which is Alberta Innovate's big conference in Calgary every year. It hasn't actually run for the last 3 years, obviously, 2 years. And really it showcases technology. There is a very big pitch competition with VC investors, and there's a number of really great speakers that talk about innovation and technology. Does anybody have any questions? Shush, Ted. Ken, I can see you smiling. If not, I'll hand it back to Tom. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks, Jane. This week's presenters for our Community Pulse series are the Grande Prairie District Chamber of Commerce. We have Chair Tertius Jenis and CEO Tanya Oliver joining us this morning, as well as Alberta Chambers of Commerce Director Planning and Communications, Jason Leslie. They will speak to some of the latest exciting chamber initiatives supporting local business. Take it away, folks.
Well, I think that's my cue. So I'm just going to tee up my presentation here and share it for everyone. I'm just going to put it into present mode and I will be ready to go in 2 seconds here. Well, it doesn't want to resize. That's okay. You guys can tell me if it's big enough or not. I can always expand it. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Okay. Can everyone see that okay? Yeah, excellent.
Yep, you bet.
Wonderful. Thanks, Tom. So thank you so much for having me and the Alberta Chambers here as part of your Community Pulse. It is great to see these getting back on track. I know we had done some of these last year, and it was a lot of fun. And it's pretty exciting as we look forward as the economy is reopening and growing. And obviously, we are past some of the issues that have really been restricting a lot of things, including business and getting together, and as people and as communities. And so we are going to share a little bit about the Shop Local initiatives that our network has been running over the past 8 months, in particular about chambermarket.ca, which is a great new online platform that we've launched to support local vendors and consumers to shop local. Going to talk a bit about hiring intentions for employers from some of our recent research and some initiatives, in particular the Talent Development Taskforce that we have stood up with some great partners, including the Grande Prairie Chamber of Commerce. And then just to highlight some of the impacts of the advocacy that we do, especially the components that are driven by insights from the business community. So I just want to acknowledge that we are we're so grateful for the Grande Prairie team and the chamber. For those folks, who are not in the chamber themselves, staff or volunteers, I just want to, you guys have a great champion on your behalf with the Grande Prairie Chamber, and the team is just absolutely fantastic to work with. And we really lean on them a lot as big leaders in our network. And so again, thank you for having me here today. So moving on to our next slide, Shop Local. And so this was a major initiative that was funded through the support of the federal government. And it was really a response to COVID and the restrictions that were really impacting businesses and limiting people's movement and ability to, shop and support businesses in the ways that they typically do. We had, for this initiative, 59 chambers were involved in accessing funds that were made available through this partnership with the federal government. And in total, 3.3 million and plus were distributed through the chamber network here in Alberta. And there were similar investments made in chamber networks across the country. As a result, we've just wrapped up the official deadline of the campaign and initiatives at the end of February here. And so we've done some market research to see how we did and to get feedback from the public and business about the impact of those Shop Local initiatives. And very positive to see that 60% of businesses in Alberta say the Shop Local initiatives run by chambers improved awareness of their business. So that's a really positive indicator that those initiatives made a big impact. And these initiatives took shape in many different ways. Grande Prairie has done some incredible things with that, as you guys are, I'm sure, all very familiar with. But one of the big things that we launched, and we're excited that Grande Prairie is going to be launching in the very near future as well, is our Chamber Market initiative. So this is an online platform that we've launched with our network. And it's what's really unique about this initiative and this platform is that it enables consumers to shop local with local businesses through local online e-commerce marketplaces that are run by the chamber, and they all connect up into a provincial platform as well. But it allows local consumers to find their local businesses very easily. And since this actually officially launched at the end of November, we've identified that over 65% of the sales taking place on the marketplace are actually taking place in communities between local consumers and local vendors within their particular community. So it really is creating that connection to allow consumers to easily find the businesses in their community and to support them. We've had just absolutely tremendous uptake with this platform. We have 24 chambers with live markets today, 213 live vendors across those marketplaces are selling close to 4,000 products. We have over 44 chambers committed to implement and are in the process of launching markets if they haven't already. And we have over 700 vendors in the onboarding process. So as you can see, it's really scaling up, and we're really excited to see how this is going to continue to grow with this incredible inertia that we've already been realizing in just a very few short months here and looking forward. And what's really important about this is that what started as something that was clearly a response to the restrictions on people's ability to move and for businesses to connect with their consumer base. 76% of business respondents to our survey indicate that they believe that consumers are going to continue to shop local more in the future. So we see this as having incredible growth potential. We've actually partnered with the Manitoba Chambers, and they have 5 local chambers launching chamber markets in their community. And so we expect this to continue to scale up through the chamber network in other provinces and potentially even south of the border. So thinking with that future lens and where we're going as a province and the opportunities in front of us, as everyone's probably very well aware, things are certainly looking up for Alberta compared to where we've been in the last couple of years, and probably even considering the last 4 or 5. The impacts of low oil prices as well as the pandemic really hit our province very hard, as I'm sure everyone is aware. But looking forward, we see a number of really positive indicators about our opportunities as a province going forward. Our GDP in 2022 is projected to lead the country. Our unemployment rate is now dropped to what we were pre-pandemic, and it's increasing to lower month over month. And we see through some of the research that we have in the field right now, early results of a full public sample of Albertans are already indicating that they're 64% are confident in the long-term future of the province. And just by way of comparison, so people recognize the significance of that, we've been tracking business and public confidence in the long-term future of the province for the last, we're coming into our 4th year now. And we can see that 64% is higher than it was following the 2019 Alberta election, which was at 59%. And in between there, and just as recently as last summer, the public confidence was lower than 50%. So it's a really dramatic shift in terms of people's outlook going forward, and it's really positive to see. So speaking of our research, some of you might very well be aware of the Alberta Perspectives market research program that the Alberta Chambers leads with our network. And we've been doing a number of benchmark surveys over the past 3 years, one of them specifically being around skills. But in the last year, we really started to deep dive into some very specific areas related to skills, and particularly around the hiring intentions of business. And so we conducted a hiring intentions survey last July, and then we did another one in December. And the results were pretty profound in terms of businesses' outlook and the challenges they're facing related to attracting and finding the talent that they need to grow. So we can see here, this is just one of the stats. More than 50% of businesses, in fact, even slightly maybe closer to 55%, had indicated they anticipate labor shortages for themselves or challenges in recruiting and retaining the talent that they need. And most importantly, what I'm sharing here is what is the impact of those shortages on their production and sales. And what we can see here is the impact in terms of its significance was in July, we're looking at 52% of businesses that were indicating that they were experiencing or anticipating labor shortages. We're saying that 20% of those respondents were saying that those shortages were expected to have a significant impact on their ability to on sales and production. Come December, that number jumped up pretty significantly to 65%, and the significance of that in terms of would that impact be significant or moderate certainly increased by well over 10 points. So we can see not only that more businesses were anticipating that they were going to be experiencing shortages, but that more were anticipating that those shortages were going to have an impact on their sales, and even a greater percentage of those than in July were anticipating those impacts to be very significant on their sales and ability to produce. So we can see an intensity increasing over those past 6 months between those two reports, and it's really as probably many of the folks on the call here are aware of, Alberta's boom and bust cycles, and really using these insights to try and get ahead of some of the challenges we anticipate we might be facing around skills. Another quick statistic or number of statistics here from that survey was the difficulty businesses are having finding particular skill sets or education levels in recruiting the talent that they need. So we can see here, these are the challenges that business indicates hiring by particular education outcome. And what we can see here is a pretty significant increase across the board for the most part in terms of what they're looking for and the difficulty they're having to try and find those. For example, post-secondary diplomas here, we can see a significant increase between July and December in trying to recruit those. And when you exclude any respondents that are saying that they don't need to hire any with that particular skill set at this time, we can see that number jumps by close to 40%. So businesses are saying not only are the impacts of shortages having increased impact on their ability to make sales or production, they're saying that the skills we need to find to help us to alleviate those concerns are getting harder to recruit, and we're having a harder time finding them and connecting with them and getting them into their workforces. So with this kind of detail that we're able to get through these insights provided by the business community through folks like yourselves contributing their input into these types of research activities we're doing, we're starting to get some real traction with decision makers around policy changes in order to respond to those issues. For example, in Alberta Budget 2022, what you're seeing here on the left, this is just a rework of the statistics that I was just showing you. So the Alberta government actually referenced our research through Alberta Perspectives and the Hiring Intentions Report in the budget documents themselves, which was a big win for our network and a big win for Alberta business to be recognized directly in the budget in terms of informing investments made to alleviate some of those challenges around skills. And this brings me to one of the ways that, in addition to our research, that the Alberta Chambers, in partnership with the Grande Prairie Chamber and a number of other large regional chambers throughout the province, have initiated, which is to stand up a talent development task force with some major partners across the stakeholders involved in addressing the labor market. So this talent development task force is co-chaired by the Alberta Chambers of Commerce and COPOA, which is the Council of Post-Secondary Presidents of Alberta. So two significant networks involved in the labor market in terms of training and, of course, hiring. We have Alberta Labor and Immigration around the table, Alberta Advanced Education, Prairie's Economic Development Canada, student union representatives, which represent obviously the post-secondary system stakeholders themselves, the students that are looking to get placements out into the labor market when they finish their degrees, and as well as MyTax, which is the largest funder of work integrated learning in Canada. So we have a very significant cross-section of senior leaders sitting around a table in a way that they never have to address labor market challenges here in the province, looking forward to position our province, our communities, and our businesses for success as we look forward to positive growth in the near future. To kind of wrap that up, I just wanted to highlight that with the Alberta Perspectives program, you as a business leader, your voice really matters. It's making a significant impact when you contribute insights into the activities that we run through the program. And I know Grande Prairie does a great job of engaging their community in these activities that we do. And so as a result of the hiring intentions data that we were able to gather that I just showed you there, that was represented in the budget, the province made $175 million investment in training and skills development, including an additional $15 million in more deep and more rich labor market information to make sure that communities around the province, communities like Grande Prairie, their particular needs and issues are well understood and are informing policy responses to address those changes. We also had some other really significant impacts through the research conducted through Alberta Perspectives. For example, last year, Alberta Chambers was able to provide support to applications to the Alberta Utilities Commission in determining whether to provide rebates back to consumers on electricity charges. And we were successful in supporting over $220 million. That's $220 million in rebates back to consumers as a result of the insights gathered from the business community and being able to display those to the regulators to inform their decision to support rebates back to customers. There's actually potential right now for some further rebates to be considered. We're not sure if that's we're not sure what the outcome is at this point of that additional decision, but it is really significant. We're able to continue contributing to those types of conversations and decision making because of the insights we get directly from businesses throughout the province. So with that, I'll wrap up. I hope I covered enough time, Tanya. We'll see. I can kind of see your little picture there. I'm getting a thumb up. I see a thumb up. Great. Thank you for that. And of course, I'm here happy to answer any questions either now or after Tanya, you make your presentation if you have a few minutes. And I look forward to those. So thanks very much for tuning in.
Thanks, Jason. The Grande Prairie Chamber is one of 116 community chambers in the Alberta Chambers of Commerce network, and the support we get is absolutely incredible, and the communication with the other chambers and with the ACC themselves is invaluable to us, and it provides us with a lot of insight and a lot of ideas as to how to better serve our members. And again, Jason taking the time to do this morning, we very much appreciate it, and we will just leave it at that, and you know how much we love you, buddy. So we'll go on from here to introduce our next presenters. They should be no strangers to the crew on board here this morning. It's our good friends, Chair Tertius Jennis and CEO Tanya Oliver from our Grande Prairie Chamber, and they will walk us through some of the great stuff that we're up to as well. So take it away, Tanya and Tertius.
Thank you, Tom, for the introduction. Before I get going here, I just want to again echo a few things that was already said before. But Jason, thank you. What you, in your personal capacity, but also via the ACC, is doing for businesses and specifically for local businesses. And just want to highlight again, your last two slides is where you say that our chamber members, their voice definitely matters, but also the previous slide to that is that the voices are being heard, and we saw that in the budget presentation there. So thank you for highlighting that again. And again, thanks for your time here again today, Jason. Much appreciated. Very warm welcome to everyone. Very happy to see new faces and familiar faces here, and thanks to the support and engagement of our membership and local stakeholders, we currently have over 1,130 members, making us one of the largest chambers in the province. And to date, we have welcomed 43 new members. Exciting news. In our effort to connect business and create opportunities, we have a variety of projects, initiatives, and partnerships happening at all times. Today, we've chosen a few areas to focus and to bring you some highlights and updates.
Awesome, thanks, Tertius. So we are going to start with an update on our ThinkLocalGP campaign that, as Jason had mentioned, was funded through a Shop Local grant made available from the federal government and administered through the Alberta Chambers of Commerce. The grant period is now complete, and we have submitted our final report for compilation with the other chambers in the province. We are very, very proud of what we've created through our campaigns, and knowing that we have done something that will continue to serve our community for years to come. We did work with 910 to develop our new logo, and we tied it into our chamber branding. As you can see behind us and all around us, you'll see it kind of incorporated for quite a long time now. And thinklocalgp.ca is the umbrella under which the other campaign elements will live. We chose to use this opportunity to educate our community, and working with the Distillery Film Company, we created this animated video to simplify and amplify some of the many important elements to consider and the impact created when we choose to support local. So check it out again for you, those of you who have seen it, and if you haven't seen it, enjoy. Maybe.
Grande Prairie's regional community thrives when people think local. Andre's $10 bought him a hammy on rye and his cappuccino.
2 sugars, please.
Cappuccino, 2 sugars.
That same $10 helps the cafe source their ham from a butcher down the street.
And my butcher shop donates to the food bank every month.
From the comfort of her home, Maya finally bought those Featherlight hiking boots she's been eyeing.
I bought them from a local store, online.
And part of her purchase let the store owner hire Alexandra, the neighboring accountant.
With some of my earnings, I took my kids to explore the dinosaur museum. They love their dinosaurs.
That's because every dollar spent locally gets spent again and again and again. Evan bought his new iGadget 3000 at the big box store. He wasn't even thinking about supporting local.
Yeah, I didn't even know I was supporting local.
But that store pays Andre his salary.
Cappuccino for Andre, 2 sugars.
That's me.
So he can keep getting his cappuccinos, 2 sugars. Explore local, support local, think local. Think Local GP. You might.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. I don't think I'm ever going to get sick of seeing that video. We love it. So as you saw, supporting local includes shopping local, hiring local, exploring local, supporting local charities, and also businesses supporting other businesses. There's many visual elements in our video that are unique to Grande Prairie and images that also support our marketing efforts. So we chose to emphasize the educational component of supporting local instead of showcasing individual businesses in the video. We feel for our region this was the best way to reach the most people in a memorable way, and then have a product that will last for years to come, and increasing the awareness of the many amazing SMEs that we have. So through this, we did support various local events and organizations to help spread awareness, including the Storm Hockey, the Best of Alberta Curling, Eastlink's Making It Work series, and Growing the North. And we worked with local media companies to spread information on the radio, various digital billboards, and through a variety of online methods. And as you can see on the screen, the stats are pretty impressive so far, with over 500 businesses directly supported, 110,258 consumers reached, almost 7,700 views on our video, and this is the biggest number, 772,244 campaign impressions. And these numbers continue to grow. We also launched the first local prepaid Visa campaign, and we sold out of our 1,800 cards. That totals $120,000 being spent in the city of Grande Prairie. So far, over 300 different businesses have benefited from these cards being spent at their stores. And we do want to note that we did try to expand the boundary of the geofence to include the county of Grande Prairie, but unfortunately, due to the limitation of the program, we weren't able to do so. And the last campaign that we're currently in the middle of still executing is a partnership with Turbo Delivery and Chow Local. And we are in the middle of delivering thank you gifts to over 5,000 of their delivery clients as an add-on to deliveries that are already happening. So we are spreading random joy and cheer and gaining more exposure for the Think Local message as well. So for the goodies, we're working with OMG Cupcakes, Rocky Mountain Chocolate, Shade Tree Chocolate, Fairy Floss GP, and Stickies Candy. And so far the reception has been great. We have a 17% scan rate on the QR codes, taking people to our landing page and get even more exposure for the campaign. And we still have a couple of tricks up our sleeves as well. So please stay tuned for those.
Thank you, Tanya. Under our Think Local campaign umbrella, we have been promoting Get in the Loop, Chamber Market, and Talent as options for businesses to gain important brand exposure, attract new customers, engage existing customers in new ways, and help businesses attract the talent they require, not just to only survive, but to thrive. These programs have two big things in common. They are robust digital tools to help businesses, and they all require buy-in from the community to support them. They meet people and consumers where they are at, online. This brings us full circle to our three newest team members, the Digital Service Squad. I refer to them as DSS Squad. I like acronyms. Dev, Emma, and Max have already begun helping our regional businesses with 99 businesses signed up to date for this free service designed to help your business thrive online. I'm sure this number will jump after many of you scan the QR code on your screen and get your name on the list. While there are certainly similarities between what businesses require to be successful online, there are also so many differences. This squad will take your online assessment and also do a digital audit of your business, again, for free. Once you submit the form, you can expect contact within 1 week to set up a meeting where they will share the results of the assessment with you and discuss the various tools and strategies that could benefit you and help you make a plan to move forward. Some of the businesses will benefit from being on Chamber Market, Get in the Loop, and Talent, and will be included in the wide array of options based on need. We did our digital assessment with the team and learned that an Instagram account would benefit our chamber by exposing us to a different audience and demographic, with the ultimate goal to increase membership. They have set up the account for us, created the content schedule, and have helped us to get started. Regardless of your industry and experience, we highly recommend getting in line for your free assessment today. Fortunately, we have this fabulous crew until March 2023, but again, time flies, so don't delay.
You're such a great addition to our team. It's awesome having them on board. So we are going to, let's give us something.
I think so.
Oh, no, I just doesn't have the right order. All right, we'll go backwards. So we are going to share an update on the continuation of our efforts to better understand the local labor market and the needs of our community. So as you know, our region is a lucrative market for business and industry due to its strong and diverse economy, strategic location, and urban-rural quality of life, giving us a competitive advantage over other areas in the province. Yet, like many Alberta communities experiencing strong economies, several local businesses in the region are facing challenges attracting and retaining skilled talent. Labor market research and workforce development planning in the region are aimed at ensuring there are enough workers with the right skills and supports to drive strong economic growth in the region. Access to such talent is critical for the growth of businesses, to ensure readiness to meet current and future needs, as well as the needs of emerging sectors, and to drive competitiveness in the global market. While the region's economy has long been a major strength, an evidence-based collaborative approach to addressing workforce gaps and opportunities better positions local businesses and communities to compete in a rapidly changing economy. So our regional workforce development strategy is a development plan initiated and led by the Grande Prairie District Chamber of Commerce in partnership with the City of Grande Prairie, County of Grande Prairie, Municipal District of Greenview, Northwestern Polytechnic, formerly Grande Prairie Regional College, and Alberta Labor and Immigration. This partnership has been working together with McSweeney and Associates since 2019 to fully comprehend the region's workforce. Extensive quantitative and qualitative research was undertaken, resulting in the preparation of a labor market needs assessment, known as the LMNA, a target sector study, sector profiles, and culminating now to the workforce development strategy and action plan, which will be released in the coming weeks. The final phase of research and planning is the creation of an evidence-based regional workforce development strategy, and this strategy provides a roadmap, a collaborative and coordinated plan providing direction and specific intangible actions to strategically help meet employment demands, establish a skilled and resilient workforce, and tap into opportunities to drive a competitive environment across the region. I can go back a slide instead of forward. There we go.
Thank you, Tanya. Our regional target sector study was completed in May 2021 based on existing specializations, employment capacity, competitiveness, and growth trends. The study identified those sectors fundamental to the region's economic competitiveness. There are 6 of these that I will highlight, and I highly recommend you go to our website to go into more detail. So the first one is renewable energy and clean technologies, forestry and wood product manufacturing, healthcare and life sciences, upstream and downstream chemical product manufacturing, agriculture and food processing, transportation, logistics, and warehousing. In summary, the regional target sector study guided the development of these 6 sector profiles, providing a description of each of the sectors identified. The first section of each profile focuses on demographics related to the region. The second section positions each of these sectors in the mind of the investor. And the last section assesses how and why the region is the ideal place for businesses in that particular sector. Again, please go to our website for more detail. Our board and policy committee has submitted 4 policies with the Alberta Chamber of Commerce for debate at the annual ACC AGM and policy session slated for May. These 4 policies, if approved, will then help form the provincial advocacy book and priorities for our chamber network. Regardless of their approval at the provincial level, they continue to be top priority issues for our members, and we will use them in our advocacy efforts with elected officials and policy makers. The first policy I'll highlight is the Rethinking the Boundaries, capturing data that reflect a more accurate picture of Alberta's diverse economies. The issue was that in 2015, Stats Canada combined 2 Alberta economic regions, Banff, Jasper, Rocky Mountain House, and Athabasca, Grande Prairie, Peace River, to make improvements to labor force survey data. The new economic region, however, encompasses nearly all of the western half of Alberta and links together economies that are vastly different from ours. This has resulted in data that are neither useful nor reliable. So we will recommend that through the Alberta Office of Statistical Information to work with Stats Canada to develop a model of decision-making to define the boundaries of Alberta's economic regions that ensure these ERs produce robust and reliable labor force survey data that best reflect the economic landscapes and labor forces across Alberta.
The second policy that we're putting forward this year is reducing the cost of working through reform and GIS and H income thresholds. So this ties into our labor issues. Labor shortages already having a pressing issue for Canadian businesses before the COVID-19 pandemic. The growing and new ones are emerging, and yet the Canada's Guaranteed Income Supplement, which is GIS, and the Alberta Income for the Severely Handicapped, AISH, program clawbacks are creating barriers to labor market participation for many employable older adults and for persons with disabilities. This is increasing our labor market pressures, negatively impacting these citizens' quality of life and limiting Canada and Alberta's potential economic output. So we do have 3 recommendations that are going to be going forward to help take a look at modernizing the framework and taking a comprehensive review of the clawbacks and just really trying to empower this element of our workforce to be able to participate as fully as they are wanting to.
The third one we are putting forward is labeled the Alberta's electricity system, a balanced and fair playing field for all customers. The issue is that the cost of transmission and distribution of electricity to consumers has created disparity in pricing across Alberta. Distribution costs are higher in rural and northern service areas, with consumers in some of these areas paying up to 400% more for distribution service compared to consumers in urban service areas. Moreover, with customers in Saskatchewan and British Columbia paying significant lower electricity rates than us here in Alberta, our overall competitiveness and ability to attract businesses is further impeded. So the recommendation is that the government of Alberta to them is to create a tax incentive for utility distribution companies operating outside of Alberta's 2 metropolitan areas, with the mandate to pass the savings along to customers through the reduced distribution delivery rates.
And the last one we're putting forward this year is electrifying Alberta's grid. So Alberta's electricity sector is rapidly undergoing transformation, most notably influenced by the drive towards net zero emissions and the demands of the increased electrification of other sectors of the economy. Alberta's future depends on the successful restructuring of the province's electrical system, not only to support the massive ramp up of clean electricity required, but also to ensure that Albertans are not faced with soaring electrical costs that would threaten industry and business and citizen well-being. So a clear, transparent, and phased plan for a path forward is urgently needed, one that strikes a balance between the addition of renewable energy sources while encouraging investment in economic growth. So we do recommend for the government of Alberta to develop and openly share a comprehensive plan to transform Alberta's electrical system into the future. We have 9 specifics included in our recommendations, and for anybody interested in diving in more on these policies, we will have them published in June after the ACC policy session is over. So, and if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Tanya. And I just want to thank our policy writer, April Wewell, for her research and writing these policies in collaboration with our subject matter experts, as well as our chamber members for bringing forward these important issues for our region and our province as a whole.
We are going to wrap up with a quick update on our upcoming Peace Region Energy Show, formerly the Peace Region Petroleum Show. So it is a biennial partnership that we have with the Grande Prairie Petroleum Association. We are definitely looking forward to bringing back this exciting show, welcoming back hundreds of exhibitors who occupy more than 400 booths that we have available. And we just take over the entire facility at Evergreen Park, inside, outside. We just fill it up with amazing exhibitors. And our show spans over full days. It's an opportunity for the industry to connect with thousands of attendees. And with 2 months left still before the show, we're almost 50% sold out of space. We did, of course, have to push our show a year. We were supposed to have it in 2021. It's not one of those types of things that can just go virtual. So we decided to postpone it a year. And the timing is really quite fortunate for us to be able to now fully open the door, provide this platform for one of the region's largest industries to connect with our customers face to face. There's so much valuable to interaction that takes place. There's definitely pent-up demand for this opportunity to showcase technology, new products and services, and just have that handshake and that face-to-face connection. And we are, like I said, we're still accepting exhibitors. We have lots of sponsorship opportunities, and the link is open to visit the show as well. So just go to prenergy.ca or you can contact our office for more information.
Excellent. Thank you, Tanya. And very exciting to see this vibrant energy show back. So definitely go online and get your spots. Again, thank you for everyone's attendance here, your valuable time is much appreciated. And a reminder, visit our website for more information. And on that note, Tom, back to you. And I'm not sure if there are comments or questions in the chat, and we'll take it from there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tanya and Tertius, for that update. And as you folks can see, there's a lot of stuff happening at the chamber. So some days if you have a hard time getting a hold of us, you know why? Because it's like a duck on the pond. Sometimes it looks all serene on top, but underneath the flippers are going full speed. So yeah, if there are any questions from the group, or you can either type them in the chat or raise your hand, or whether it's for Jason with the Alberta Chambers or with or from Tanya or Tertius or any of our team. This is always the awkward part where you wait for someone to ask a question. Yeah, okay. Seeing none. We do have a few minutes left before we give you back the rest of your day. Okay, so I guess we will just move on by saying thanks again to Tertius and Tanya and Jason, and to Jane and our presenting partners, GP Ren, Aquatera, CAP, City of Grande Prairie, our supporting partners, MD of Greenview, Community Futures, Grande Prairie and Region, and all of you for participating and supporting our Chamber of Commerce. The next installment in our Community Pulse series will be on March 30th, featuring Grande Prairie Regional Tourism Association. You can watch your emails for reminders, and registration is available for all of our events on our website, grandeprairiechamber.com. Also upcoming is our Business After 5 mixer at Revolution Mazda on March 31st, a ribbon cutting for DuraGuard services on April 6th, the Chamber's planned Q&A on April 6th. Sorry, the ribbon cutting's April 5th. Pardon me, Chamber's planned Q&A on April 6th, and our State of the Region on April 22nd. Details coming up on that next week. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the sunshine, and spring is coming. You can feel it. Have a great day.